Hey there, friends. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope that you are doing great and having a great week so far. I got a couple new journals to go into the shop. It was just all about the purple today, y'all. It was just all about the purple. I really can't explain it. We're having another one of those crazy dreary days here, but honestly, I mean, we're promised some 70-degree weather this week, and I think that I'm really ready for it. So I'm really like purpley inclined. I want to see some purple. Purple is one of the rarest colors in nature. I didn't know that. And because it's very rare, then the purple flowers are considered delicate and precious. You know, things like lavender, orchid, lilac, and of course violets. So if you are like inclined to the purple, this might be the little jewel for you. It's finished off with some purple glass beads and also some green glass beads that I thought went really well with this fabric. This is new fabric, first time I've ever used it, so we can kind of see what it looks like. I'll give you a good look here. I'm using a food box, and there was a logo up here that was just peeking too much through this white. So what I did was I painted that part of the box with a little bit of antique white acrylic paint. Now what happened was when I did that, it kind of aged this part of the book. So it looks really cool. I might try that again because it was just, you know, it's one of those happy accidents that Bob Ross always talks about in his painting courses. It kind of made the book have an aged appearance, and it covered up that logo that was peeking a little bit too much through that white. I do like when the box, you can barely see it through the fabrics, and a lot of times, you know, it turns out to look like a text layer under the fabric. This fabric also had a wee buckle right here. This should be a $45 journal because she's a little imperfect. She's just a wee bit imperfect. She's got a buckle right here. It was, you know, I've never used this fabric. She maybe didn't like the glue, but she's just got a little bobble right here. So she will go in the shop for $40. So let's take a look inside. This has very cheered me up, y'all. You know, doing a lot of purple, and you can see that she's just chock full of hairy paper clips, fun things to play with. The closure is a little tricky. It's one of those tricky closures because I used a flower, and I put this wee little pearl right inside the flower. Just that the little edges on the flower are just tricky, and you guys know that I kind of tell you about these tricky little closures. So usually it's best to open and close by turning the book this way. So let's take a look at what we have. Inside the book, we have a nice white bookend right here. I thought that went really, really well, and you can still see some of the antique white paint that kind of leaked through here. I gotta try that again because it was kind of a cool aging accident. It's what it was. This is your story in your storybook right here. I used inky papers because for some reason or another I had a lot of inky papers. So this thing's just chock full of fun papers to play with. Colors, you know, the symbols of the season. We've got happy birds, we've got flowers, a lot of cheerfulness going on. And this is your bird element. I believe this is another one of those. Oh, no, this is a velt. Hold on, I don't have my glasses on. Let me see. A vireo, a blue-headed vireo. I've never even heard of that. She is cute, though. I love her. She's got a sweet coloring about her. Your other bird element is a sparrow hawk. Interesting habits of birds. A ruffed grouse. A checklist of the birds of Indiana because Kathy is the one that sent along this bird book from 1980. Thanks, Kathy. It is super cool. We sure have enjoyed it. And there's a sweet little red bird for you. I think that birds, I went outside today, and even though it was raining and it was just like depressing, I could hear the birds, and that always gives me just a lot of hope. Very heartening to hear the birds. You got a fabric element here that you can play with. This is a little mini pocket with tags and tickets in it. I was also interested, you know, in the whole, a little kitty cat. Don't you love him? The whole purple thing, you know, it calms the mind. It's associated with the third eye. It was the most expensive because of its rare occurrence in nature. It was the most expensive dye to create in the Middle Ages. So that's why we see a lot of purple in relation to royalty and nobility. It represents luxury and power. A lot of super cool, like, little purple facts. And I don't know if you guys were into Breaking Bad or not, but Marie Schrader had a serious love affair with the color purple. That was, oh, I'm sorry that that's over. A horse is not just a horse. Each breed has a different personality, skill set, and part in our history. This is from the excellent Farmer's Almanac. I love an article about beautiful animals. I work for a farm, and the farmer and his wife have 3 outstanding horses. It's really funny to go by their house and to see the horses out there, you know, and to go visit them and be able to pet the nose of the horses. And oddly, the farmer's horses ended up at a local bar over the last summer, and the bar owner called the farmer and went, "Hey, your horses are in the parking lot of the bar." And we were like, uh-oh. They were going down to the watering hole and having them a drink. So it was pretty funny, and by the time the farmer kind of ascertained everything that was going on, that they, you know, had gotten out of the fence, the police, of course, had called him and went, "Hey, do you know your 4 horses are down at the bar?" So it was pretty funny. Yes, they went down to the watering hole. We've got a pocket full of posies for you to play with. More papers. I kind of really did like this. There's something about a daisy that's so simple and elegant and beautiful. This is from the 1983 Country Living magazine. I adore this magazine because it doesn't just give you insights into homes that, you know, were built, you know, in the 18th century, but it gives you such a good insight, the advertising does, into what decor actually looked like in 1983. And I think that it makes it just a super cool magazine to take a look at. This is the 1962 Family Circle magazine, and it is an advertisement for Morton Salt. This is the 1960 DIY Audell's book. This is an article about kitchen pull-out counters, so it is really neat. I love the photographs in that book. The paper is also super, super cool. So you can do a lot with the paper. You know, you can use it for decoupage. You can use it on a mixed media. I also really do like the text as well. This is from the 1942 Red Cross Home Nursing Manual. This is a photograph of a home nurse, and she's visiting an elderly couple here. I missed Call the Midwife. I missed it Sunday night. I'm hoping to catch it Wednesday. We let go of our cable a few months ago, and so there's no more recording things, you know, to watch for later. So all I can do is kind of hope that I can see it on a Wednesday night, because that's my take a break and have some TV night. This is an advertisement also from the 1962 Family Circle magazine, Health Hints collected by Mrs. Dan Gerber, mother of 5. So this is where Gerber cereals came from. And there's the Gerber cereal advertisement right here. This is the 1956 project book for boys and girls. So I thought all of these things kind of just fit beautifully together. On the back of the cover of the 50 Things for Boys and Girls to Do, it says the property of Mrs. Bernard D. Baird. I did not write, I wrote 1956 here because that's what Donna said the year of the book was. But I love that we have a little bit of salvaged handwriting there. Love me some salvaged handwriting, and I know you guys do too. We're going to call that salvaged script. Salvaged script. Because we saved it from being tossed in a trash can or something. This is the continuation of the Morton Salt advertisement in the 1962 Family Circle magazine. We are about at the end of that magazine. Y'all, this was super cool. This is from the 1983 Country Living magazine. It's an actual phone booth on display in someone's house. Look. That was so neat. I just couldn't cover that up. I know that our upside down pages are, you know what? Upside down pages are going to happen. This is the lovage plant. My phone's ringing, sorry. More of the 1983 Country Living magazine. This is a napkin for you guys to play with. I sure do love it because it's a little Hawaiian girl and she's got on a lei. She's got a flower in her hair. All purple right here. These are some border elements for you to play with. They're so lacy and pretty, y'all. They are just really, really exquisite. And this is a little, as a kind of a project life card. It says artisan. More purple over here, and these were from a Graphic 45 paper pack that was October related. So you've got pumpkins here, and that crow is outstanding because that crow, even though it's black, really does have a lot of purple in it as well. Some stickers for you to play with because that's just fun. More from the 1962 Family Circle magazine. I kind of love this black and white. Isn't that pretty? Another advertisement, this time for conditioner. A story about gabardine pants from J. Peterman. We got to have some Peterman in here. Pattern paper for you to play with. Pattern paper is a whole lot like tissue paper, so you can kind of think of it as the same sort of thing. You know, with tissue paper, you can stamp on the tissue paper, and then Cat Hand has a great technique about stamping on tissue paper and then using a paintbrush dipped in water to kind of go around the edges of your stamping where it tears easily from the tissue paper. So check out Cat Hand. She's just got all kinds of great tips for you and great projects as well. More purple back here in the background of this 2008 fashion magazine. I love the shoes. Shoes, shoes. I think I like this because it's obviously a runway thing because they have the sizes inside the shoes really big, so you know people can just grab them and go. I can't think of fashion or anything like that without thinking about The Devil Wears Prada. It's one of my favorite movies. It's kind of got that Cinderella thing, you know. I was thinking about that the other day. There's always like this transformation. Remember Moonstruck? You know, when Cher finally walks into the hairdressers and she goes, take out the gray, and they start fawning all over her, and she just turns into like a Cinderella. Is just what she is. Our Story is my favorite. A little bit of Halloween Batman right here for a Batman. That's another series that we need to catch up on. I really love the Gotham series, and we are just, you know, terribly behind. cutting the cable was really, 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 really fantastic, but it has limited us to Netflix, and on Netflix I'm watching Frankenstein. Excellent series if you're into things like that. You know, if you're into like early 18th century history, costuming, it's just an excellent, it's so creepy. It's creepy good. I love things that are creepy good. We've got a Tom sheet for you, some graph paper. This is, you know, the DIY of QuickBooks. Someone asked me one time when I was a booking agent, well, how do you keep your books? And I was like, I use the stubby pencil method. And he said, oh, what's that? And I said, you use a stubby pencil with a good eraser on it and you keep your books. Well, what kind of computer program do you use? And I was like, dude, I use a stubby pencil. There's really, you know, there's really no replacement for the stubby pencil. What happened was I had lost a bunch of stuff on my computer, and I thought, I am not doing this anymore. It's going to be a stubby pencil from now on. We've got some beautiful vintage cards for you. This one is signed. We know that C is Kathy, and it's 1951. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then we have one from Oscar, and we know that Kathy is Oscar's son. Kathy is Oscar's mom, sorry. It's from our Nielsen ephemera collection, which I am just about to release another ephemera collection. This time it is the story of Ethel. I found letters from 1908 that were written from Charles to Ethel. It's really, really interesting. So I'm kind of, when I do that, I do a timeline, and then from the timeline, I pull in the ephemera. Of course, this ephemera collection dates from 1799 up until the mid-1900s, so it is a crazy, beautiful ephemera collection. But I'm trying to do that like close to the end of this week. I thought Ethel was going to go one way, and I think Ethel might go the other way. I love like thinking about it and creating the story in my head to go along with the ephemera. It really is a lot of fun. It's very intense because you really got to get caught up in this story. This book, of course, is purple. And it is finished with purple beads, blue beads, green beads, it's finished with green beans. Green beads. Oh, Lord, it's been a long day. Which kind of reflect the colors that are on the cover. Lots of fun hairy paper clips for you to play with. Again, this is one of those weird closures, so we just turn it on its side and open it just like that. My son bought me a Marie purple kettle. We were talking about Marie from Breaking Bad, and she was just like into purple, and he bought me a Marie purple kettle that I use to make tea. We're starting out with a little card that has a little mousey, and he's holding a heart. Love, love, love. Inky papers. Inky papers just went really well with these purple books. I don't know what it was. Our bird element is a ringneck pheasant, and I will have to let you know what these are. This is a balloon painting. You blow up a balloon, you stick it in some paint, and you just kind of dab it on the, and I'll put an iCard up here for that little tutorial that I did about that. That was just fun. Eggs, because it's almost Easter, and I love to play with napkins. I just think it's so much fun to see about the elements that you can create using napkins. A little double pocket for you with some tags to play with. A sweet little moth. It has the numbers 1 through 10. A blue bird of happiness. We love our birds here. I think this is again, this is a warbler. You know, we had a lot of warblers. I was really surprised to see all those. This is super cool because it is how to do DIY bird feeders. I like this pot that is suspended from some wire, and then you're just kind of, it's a coat hanger actually, and then you're just filling the pot with bird seed. My sister loves to feed the birds, and they only like bird seed from Publix. Go figure. They won't eat the rest of the bird seed. If she tries to buy really, really fancy bird seed, they won't go for it. This is a fun little pack for y'all. It's got border strips, it's got some tickets in it, and it's got some tags in it. So I thought it would just be fun. I love the thought of you picking up the book and going, oh my gosh, I just don't have time to do anything today. But I can take this out and I can play with it, and I can get that, you know, that, oh, I just love to create something, you know, vibe that you have going on. And you can do it instantly and automatically with these little pockets of fun that I've been putting in here. More purple. Have an ode to January. This was just some fun paper, and it's an older paper, but I just love the skates, and I like the green and I like the pink. This is a paper pack for you to play with, mostly from the Dendronics paper pack, which is very, Dendronics is the study of trees. So it's very super cool, very natural looking. This section from the Old Farmer's Almanac is about hunting and fishing. I know that, I don't know if you guys like to hunt or fish. I do like to fish, but I'm not very good at fishing, but I do love to be close to the water. I like this. It says farming in 1792. Ours was an agrarian society. 90% of Americans were farmers. Under 1% are today. I thought that was really an interesting fact from 1792. We've got a little section on anecdotes and pleasantries. How happy is a clam? How happy is a clam? Hang on, guys. I need to get that. Okay, sorry, I'm back. 76 beavers forced to skydive. Seriously? I don't know what that was about. Rules for teachers in 1911. You will not marry during the term of your contract. You are not to keep company with men. You must be home between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless at a school function. You may not loiter downtown in any of the ice cream stores. You may not ride in carriages or automobiles with any man except your father or brother. You may not travel beyond the city limits unless you have permission of the chairman of the school board. You may not smoke cigarettes. You may not dress in bright colors. Oh my gosh. My favorite school teacher was Mrs. Madrid, and I had her in the 2nd grade, and she wore the brightest colors I've ever seen in my whole life. She had blood red fingernails. Her influence on my life is just, it continues to this day. So, you know, I think about that was you know, that's a long continuous relationship to have with an elementary school teacher when I was 7 years old. She has sadly passed away, but she was an extraordinary person, absolutely extraordinary. My purple elephant, pink elephant and all. What do you do on a rainy day out in the pouring wet? If your umbrella you have brought laughing beneath you get. Laugh then whether it's wet or fine. It is your laughter gay. Makes the bright sun seem to shine. Though 'tis a rainy day. That's a good thing to remember. Your attitude really is the best thing, isn't it? Your attitude really about the weather, about anything, certainly can change the way you feel about it. I've got a pocket full of posies for you. One of my favorite inky papers. This is a stencil that someone sent me, and I just love it. It reminds me of the sun. Lots of sparkle over here for you. Gathering maple syrup. I thought that was a very interesting article. 1962 Family Circle magazine, wishbone dressing. This is a sour cream and Italian herb dressing. These are recipes to make sweets for slimming down, slim downers. I love this text from the 1983 Country Living magazine. I especially loved this image. This text in this image, oh my gosh, y'all. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that. I'm going to make a ATC or an oversized ATC or a piece of mixed media or put it on a greeting card and go, relax. More from the 1983 Country Living magazine. The 1960 DIY Audel's magazine book. This is a series of sliding shelves that were very, very interesting. The 1942 Red Cross Home Nursing Manual about how the community protects health. I thought that was very interesting. A beautiful napkin for you to play with. Cast the gift of a lovely thought into the heart of a friend. Isn't that a sweet sentiment? That was such a pretty card to play with. I love this because this is from the 1983 Country Living magazine. Well, y'all, this is where Jesse James's sister lived, in that little log cabin right there. I just love that. They have the coolest real estate listings. Lots of papers. Remember, you know, you've got tons of papers. You can make cards. You can use the papers to make ATCs. You can use it on mixed media. A lot of this paper is big enough that you could fold it into different shapes. You can do different things with it. Lots and lots of paper for you guys to play with. This is a piece of batik that went really well with this little book from the 2008 fashion catalog. That, to me, that looked very watercolor-ish, you know, kind of ethereal and beautiful, and I thought it just really did fit in this book really nicely. More from the 1962 Family Circle magazine. This is a tweed coat from J. Peterman. Pattern paper, inky paper for you. I think this must have been some wrapping paper, but, you know, I love circles, so it's like crazy about the circles. Thought it was so cool. This is an oatmeal advertisement from 1962. More batik for you to play with. These are some text pages. Love the yellowing here. I think we do still have Swedish text going on. We have some French. There's something about that paper that is luscious. Just the way it feels. It's just wonderful. And we've got some French text. More inky papers. The vintage card is For You, Mother, on Valentine's Day. It's signed Your Son, 1966. In the back is an ATC kit for you guys. You know, people say, what's an ATC and why do you talk about them so much? It is small. It's small art, and I love it, and I think it's so much fun, and I wanted you guys to have a kit that you could pull out, and there are a couple ATC cards in here, some fabric scraps, all kinds of elements for you to play with, as well as you could play with the actual envelope that this comes in, because it's got some super keen butterflies on it. Okay, guys, I will have these purple babies in the shop a little later on this afternoon. I appreciate you guys listening to me babble about purple. I think it's one of the prettiest colors out there, and I think that it is time for a lift of spirits. You are noble. You are royal. Purple should be your color. Thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.